Hi, my name is Jesper Ankerfeldt, and this is a small walkthrough of this new package called Naming Tool, which is for Cubase, and it's in the SoundFlow App Store. Let me show you it in action. If I start from the left, I have prepend name, so I can get a pop-up like this, and then I could write preview, and then you see all of these events get that added to the name, or I could add something to the end, maybe version 1, and they all get that. I can also generate names. Let's say I just want these to be called SFX. Then I get a second pop-up asking which number to start with, and I could write 10. And you can see it goes 10, 11, 12, and so forth. And it doesn't matter how many events you select. There's also one called generate name first 1. So if I just write SFX, it just starts with 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. You can also entirely replace the name. So no name, you will see all of them have that. I can also search and replace names. So if I do like this, I can search loop and then maybe write loop with small letters, and you see every time it says loop, it will change that. And I can also search and remove things. So let's say I just don't want it to say loop at all. I remove the text like that. So these are just the factory presets. And as you can see, prepend name, it's this one. It has a prepend as the operation type, and the container is adaptive, and then there's no text written in, which means that you get the pop-up. If I didn't select any events, since it's on adaptive, if I have track selected instead, and I say, well, let's add this, we're gonna write SFX, then it adds that to the tracks instead. But I can also log it into whatever container type I want it specifically only to react to. This is how these different presets look like, and you can see that it's the operation type mainly that's changing, but I can actually make my own versions of these in my presets. So for instance, I have one here called generate SFX. So it generates a name, it's adaptive to whatever is selected, and then it writes SFX, and it starts with the number 1. So if I have these tracks selected and I run that command, you see that it will name these SFX. Or I select these and I press the command, it will name those. I could also have a whole bunch of events without any name, and now I can combine using these different commands to generate names. So first I say these are all called SFX, and then they're called SFX 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. I don't like that space there between SFX and the number, so I'm gonna go in and search for space, and then I'm gonna replace that with an underscore. These SFX are maybe in a specific language, so I append that with that language name. And I also want it to be a preview, so I'm gonna add preview in the beginning. And now I've created the names for all these markers. And if I need to change something in these later on, let's say it's not a preview anymore, I'll go and search and remove. It will find preview like that. I hope you enjoyed this video, and maybe this package can improve your workflow.